Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is the power of etiquette and manners. And hopefully you were able to join for a special event that took place this past Wednesday. We're going to find out all about it from the star of our show. Let's welcome the president and founder of the principal of the, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, the principal, founder, and president of the British School of Excellence. Welcome, Mr. Philip SYKES. It's good to have you today.
Hello. And as we always say, it is Friday. Wow. Can you believe it? This week, like every other week, just seems to fly straight through. It's just extraordinary.
It absolutely is, Philip. It's, we're not getting any older, though, right? We're staying the same age. We're just getting wiser.
That's 100% wiser every single day. If we're not getting slightly wiser every day, then we're doing something wrong. And that's something to really seriously take on board. Everything is about growth and development.
Absolutely. It's interesting, Philip. I'm going to be 60 at the end of this month. And I just realized in the last few days that we have a choice. We have a choice of how we live our life, of what we do, of where we go. And I've been kind of living like in this isolation tank sort of behind this green screen. And I realized that I kind of put myself there. So I'm going to be getting out and interfacing with people on a more regular basis. I think it's very healthy.
It's so healthy. And I think that's where we've forgotten we've lost us. We've actually, let me try that again. You and I both need to
we're tongue-tied today.
Take our false teeth out. Let's put them back in. Right. Yeah. There's been a big disconnect in the last 2.5, 3 years. And I think people, like everything, it became a habit just to sort of isolate and for us to close ourselves away and hide away, just as I've got my studio like you have, Dr. JACALYN. But I tell you what, it gets lonely and it starts to play on your mind. And we all need that human interaction. Look, some people, maybe not as much, but generally that human connection, human interaction is, at the end of the day, we're top of the food chain, we're animals. At the end of the day, we need that connection, we need that interaction with one another. Even going for that walk and greeting people on your walk, or going into a library or whatever it might be. Up often, down here in Walton, we've got a couple of charity shops. I love popping in there just to have a rummage around. As you may remember, one of my stories, one of my first suits was found in a charity shop all those years ago. And I think it's important to get out and meet people. And really, when you do meet people, it's something I posted the other day, greet them with enthusiasm and energy. It starts to affect you positively on a personal level.
Absolutely. Great points, Philip, as always. And we've got a wonderful guest who actually was on your special event on Wednesday. Before we bring out Heba, I would love for you to just tee up a little teaser. We'll go into more detail at the end of the show about the retreat that you and I are going to be hosting in September of this year.
Yeah, we've got some magic happening behind the scenes. In early September, a 4 or 5 day retreat in a lovely location where there will be good weather, which I think is very important, and hopefully near a huge open space of water, where we will be able to really learn from one another. We've got some amazing coaches that we're lining up. There's going to be some wonderful sort of physical, as in fitness events that Dr. JACALYN's going to put together. And we're going to bring we're going to bring amazing people together and like-minded people together so that we can grow and develop as individuals in an amazing environment and walk away from that time together inspired, motivated, and equipped with incredible knowledge that we can then go out and share with our audience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Philip. And we've got a wonderful guest backstage who's joining us from Dubai. Would you please do the honors of the introduction?
Absolutely. I've had the privilege now to, I'm going to say, a good 6 months now. Heba came on our Train the Trainer program from the Middle East. Just got the most amazing approach when it comes to dealing with people. Soft, gentle, subtle approach. Her whole temperament is about kindness, and being humble, and that beautiful empathetic approach to life. And again, Heba was very wonderfully in attendance with us on Wednesday evening, where we ran our Train the Trainer taster session, or just giving people an understanding with our current some of our past Train the Trainer alumni. And Heba was good enough to give up her special and precious time to join us. So without further ado, I'd love Heba to come into the studio.
Hi, Heba. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Nice
How
to
are
see
you?
you twice in the same week.
Yes. Good luck.
How did you find the event from Wednesday?
Very interesting. It was very nice to see all the other colleagues coming back, and the new ones also. And it's always nice to discuss with Philip.
Wonderful. So you're the founder and CEO of Improve Me. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What do you do there?
Yeah, well, Improve Me, it's about trying to help people be better. So if you need to host people, you need to learn how to host them better than you do, because everybody is very nice, of course, if you have guests. But hosting is not only offering food and all that, it's the way you receive people, whether it's in your office, in your house, wherever. So some people don't invite people because they are scared of this encounter. So in Improve Me, we try to help people be better. So everybody has the goodness in. So we try to bring it up. So that's mainly about kindness, about making the extra effort to welcome people, to be nicer, to be more giving. So you can make them more comfortable, you make them at ease, and it goes everywhere. It's professional, it's private, everywhere. So we have also classes for kids, so they can start being educated into being courteous, being kind, open to meet people, stranger, how to meet older people, how to even to play with others, how to interact. Everything is being set in a manner to help them take it step by step and become better.
Wonderful. Thank you.
That's absolutely amazing. And Heba, you know what I would love you to do is just share with our audience a little bit about your journey, a little bit about your background, because you really are an incredibly well-educated individual. You've got some wonderful calling. Would you share with our audience a little bit about where you started in your background? Because it really, if you don't mind, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's a little bit of a mix. Um, I have a degree in hospitality. That was my main dream when I was young, to work either in an airport or a hotel, receiving people and helping them to be happy. After I finished my degree, I got married and then had kids, and then I joined something totally different, the International Committee of the Red Cross, which is an international organization, a humanitarian one. And my role was um, like a general manager, troubleshooting, in charge of HR, finance, logistic, everything, you name it. So I had a very diverse job for 15 years. And then that was in Egypt, Cairo. And we moved to Dubai. And then I was lucky enough to be chosen to work with a royal household. And again, I was in charge of everything in the palace, in the private office. And then now I decided to do something that incorporates everything. So I have seen the humanitarian side, I have seen the philanthropy side, because I would say royal household is about philanthropy after all. And I saw that the main thing in between is people. They are not comfortable. If you are in a war zone, you're not happy. If you are meeting with a dignitary, you are very worried. And there is always tradition, culture difference between expats, between um, different countries. And that's where I thought maybe it's time to make people realize that kindness can lead them to not judging others, to facilitate things when you meet different cultures and people. And that's how I decided to start this journey. And then I was lucky enough to join the British School of Excellence, and the great Philip helped me a lot. And here I am.
What a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing that. And you look so happy and just you found your way. You're where you want to be. How did your experience with Mr. Philip and Leanne and the British School of Excellence help you with what you're doing?
Well, excellent is the best word to describe the School of Excellence, may I say. It was very easy. First of all, the I did my researches on the internet, so it was a very clear website. You have all the information. They're not hiding anything. There is nothing behind the screen. The fees are there. The time is there. The curricula is there. So it was very easy for me to decide. I compared other schools, but they were the best. I like when something is very clear and in front of you. There is not the contact XYZ, because they will not tell you on the main screen what is going on. And then the course itself, it was absolutely very, very, very complete, thorough, interesting. Philip and Leanne did not hesitate a minute to give us every single thing they know. And this is also something I admire in them. They just give you what they know. And this is not everyone who teaches the can do, because a lot of people are not confident enough to give you their knowledge. So they always keep something for them, the tip that they won't disclose. But honestly, they give us everything, and you could feel they are really here to help. They want us to be better, good. The feedback on the assessment was very thorough, very long. So they have also a great team with them. I cannot recommend them enough, honestly.
Sure.
Wonderful.
That gives
Wow.
me, yeah, thank you, Heba. You know, that comes, your sincerity, really, you make me very emotional in hearing that, but I just love hearing that, because that is what we want. Everyone.
And that's the truth. I mean, that's how I think all my colleagues would tell you the same, because I mean, we were all there, we saw it.
Yeah, and you were with an incredible group of colleagues as well. You know, you bonded beautifully, and really, you know, I was just looking at the notes the other day, and the group, it was in November that you were here, and I just, you know, I make a note of all the students that come through, and I detail everything, and it's just amazing. You had an incredible group. You came together. You were really, really a dynamic group, and the energy in that group was just phenomenal.
True.
Yeah. Yeah,
I just want to touch on something that you said, because I think it really is in alignment with etiquette and manners. And you spoke about how Mr. Philip and Leanne give of themselves and they don't hold anything back. Many times people will offer to help you and they'll give you some information, but they won't give you everything that you could possibly need, because they want to keep it to themselves, because they want to have that little bit of an advantage. What are your thoughts about this, Philip and Heba, about people who are reluctant to get all in and give what they know?
We have an Arabic say that two grocer shop can open, and the best one who will attract people is the kindest one. So being kind is also being confident in giving. You know that giving is not going to take anything from you because everyone has his own stamp. If Philip gave me everything he knows and I am going to use it differently, Philip will remain Philip and will remain the same enthusiastic person who is the founder of the school, and he will always remain the head of it. Me taking the information, I will use it totally different. And that's what people don't understand. If I take the information, it's not going to diminish anything from him, but he will be happy if he's kind, because he is. But other people who are not kind will not be happy for their peers or students to be like them or better than them. But people who are confident in themselves, they will just give you what they have and be proud that you are their student. And that's the difference. You have to be self-aware that this is not going to change anything from you. You will remain the same person. Personality is total different. Me, I am different than you and everyone. So it's your own stamp that is going to add to the knowledge, and it's not going to make any change if he gives me everything or less, because less, it will make a bad student. I will be a bad trainer, and at the end of the day, it's going to be a student from the school. So he is kind enough, but he's also very clever and intelligent to know that it's not going to harm him, but it's going to help him. And that's kindness. He gives what he has. What about you, Philip? What do you think?
You some, you know, and this is the thing where, and I so sincerely thank you for that, because as you say, we've all got our own makeup, our own characters. I want to feed as much as I can from what I've learned in my life, because heaven forbid we're here today and we're gone tomorrow. And we need to grow other people and develop other people. And that this is the essence in life. We must not be, look, I know that Coca-Cola don't want to give you the ingredients for Coca-Cola. We understand. But when we can give people the ingredients of our experience, our area of expertise, and we can really hold that to our hearts and to who we are with huge passion and vindication, this is what this is about. And you know as well as I do, Heba, there's a time difference between us. But if you needed something from me and you phone me up at 8 o'clock in the evening or send me a message, you will get a response, because I know that you are asking me something because you need something. And this is what this is all about. This is about giving and about sharing as much as we can. Because if we hold it all to ourselves, that's selfishness in its entirety. And one of the biggest things that we can really do in our lives is to make time for other people, not time wasters, because there will be people who absolutely do not respect your time. There will be those takers in life, but you've got to give everyone the chance at least. And if you happen to find out that there are takers and they're not givers, then you can draw a line in the sand. But I truly believe in life, we all have an opportunity and a duty to go out there and give what we can.
True.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that. I had I'm going to say it was a situation where when I first started this business, I was on a different platform and I was branching out to do something else at the same time. And I was told by this other person that, no, you have to be all in over here and you can't do any broadcasting anywhere else. And I thought, that doesn't even make any sense because I'm going to be promoting your brand as well. But yet there are people out there who they're just holding tightly onto whatever it is. And I feel they're really missing opportunities for their own growth, but to help other people, which is so rewarding.
It's wonderful. I mean, you absolutely look at Heba's background. I mean, the diversity. Not only did she obviously go through education, she did hospitality, then became an amazing mum. And women, that's why I hold you in such high regard. You take on so much in your lives, you know, raising a family. Then you obviously go into the Red Cross, which must have been the most humbling experience, because that is the most phenomenal organization, and the learning and opportunities you would have had there, not all easy. Then being transferred to Dubai and getting involved in the Royal Palace. I mean, wow, look at that. And I love the fact here that you brought in that incredible word, hospitality. You know, there's hospitality in everything. Hospitality in what Dr. JACALYN does. Hospitality in what we do. Everything is about being in the hospitality mindset. because how do we welcome people into our homes and how do we make people feel at the end of the day? And that actually sounds so simple, but so many organizations get it so wrong. They get it so wrong. They disconnect. They don't follow through. They don't put their money where their mouth is, and they don't treat you as an individual.
Philip, I have a question for you and also for Heba to give her feedback. What about when you are in a business situation, you're representing your company and you're having a conversation, maybe you're at a trade show or a conference or you're in a meeting and someone comes up to you and they want to engage, but you're already engaging. And this happens all the time. How do we show that hospitality and kindness to the person we're in conversation with and also to the person who wants to get involved in the conversation?
If I may, I'd love to answer that. That is a great question for a start. Firstly, I would include that person. So if they came over, I would, if you didn't know them for a start, I would introduce myself and say, please join us. My name's Philip. This is my friend and colleague, Michael or Rob or Heba or Dr. JACALYN, and then share with them what you're talking about. So in a very, don't start at the very beginning. Just bring in a few pointers. Oh, we're talking about how do you go about X, Y, and Z when you travel to that particular country, and we're just talking about cultural differences. Bring that person up to speed. The same would stand when you know the person. Mike, it's lovely to see you. I'm just chatting to my friend Dr. JACALYN. Please do come and join us. We've just been speaking about X, Y, and Z. So bring him up to speed and let them get involved in the conversation. Obviously, if you're talking about something that's confidential, then just shift the subject and say, you know what, Dr. JACALYN, we'll catch up on what we were talking about shortly. This is my friend Michael. This is my friend Dr. JACALYN. And out of interest, you always introduce a male to a female, even if it were royalty and that sort of thing. So it's really important that there's a little bit of protocol and involvement here. It's about putting people at ease in a very short space of time.
Thank you. Philip, can you just elaborate? You said you always introduce male to female. Can you just go over that again, please?
You can. That's an old school approach, but it is very, still very well, I say, regarded and respected in certain countries where despite the status of an individual. So there's Mr. CEO, and let's just hypothetically have Miss Secretary. You would always give Miss Secretary the heads up you're about to make an introduction. So I'd go, Miss Secretary, Mr. CEO, may I introduce you to Miss Secretary? Miss Secretary, this is Mr. CEO. And the same thing would be royalty. So if I had King Charles on my left-hand side and I had you on my right-hand side, Dr. JACALYN, I'd give you the heads up, Dr. JACALYN. Your Royal Highness, may I take this opportunity to introduce you to my friend, Dr. JACALYN. Dr. JACALYN, this is your Royal Highness, King Charles III. That's how you would tend to do that. So lower ranking to senior ranking as well. So if there are two males, you'd introduce the lower ranking person to the senior ranking person. Same with females, lower ranking female to the senior ranking female. But in certain countries that would not be appropriate and that would not be part of their culture or the way they do things. So for example, in Asia, in China, that wouldn't happen. Mr. CEO will always be Mr. CEO and the head of the pecking order and is the one that takes preference.
Fascinating. Thanks so much for sharing that. So if we are traveling around the world and we want to show people respect and be kind, we need to understand what they do in their culture and how they like to be treated and introduced.
That you know, just Heba's again multicultural. I mean, not only multicultural, she speaks different languages. 100%, you are showing utmost respect when you are making an effort to go to cut. And every country, we've got a 136-page document on, and that's not on all the countries, but that's covering a lot of the countries around the world of the idiosyncrasies, the little differences. And if we just bolt on even 10% of a list of do's and don'ts, you're showing huge respect. You don't need to be a genius and a rocket scientist. And let's face it, with AI, it's at your fingertips now.
Yes.
Very true. So Heba, as we're sitting here having this conversation, I'm wondering, because you have so much experience and you are multicultural, what are some of the things that stand out for you that you'd like to share as tips for our audience when we are engaging with people in business in other countries?
Respect. The problem is also that some countries, and I'm not naming, view the Middle East as the back seat. So they're a little bit judgmental, and I would even say, how do we put it nicely? Judgmental will go, but the ego is sometimes a little bit high, and this is not kind, and it's felt in meetings, and it sometimes makes deals go totally off. Judging people how they eat. For example, I'll take the food in the Middle East. The spoon is used a lot because they eat a lot of rice. They eat a lot of purees and soluble things. Even the meat is very tender, so they don't use knives. And they are used to eat with spoons. So for people, it's not fancy enough. They don't use the knife and fork, for example. But we respect the chopsticks, so why not respect the spoon? So we're judging again because maybe the countries with the chopsticks are more mature or more rich or more advanced. I don't know. And sometimes it makes a huge problem between business counterparts because they are judging people, and again it's not respecting the country. If you read a little bit about every country you visit, I'm taking the Middle East as an example because I see it, and I noticed that, and I was in attendance of a lot of small things that happened because of this judgmental attitude. But if we go to anywhere, Asia have a lot of traditions that if we don't respect, we are put out. Literally, we're not met totally. South of America, I think also some of the places, if you don't follow their traditions and rules, it's not easy to pass the gates sometimes. So I think that judging people needs to stop at a certain time, and we need to always learn about who we are meeting, whoever. We have to do our homework, whether it's a friend, a colleague, a president, whoever. We have to know the tradition, the knowledge about this person, what he likes, what he dislikes, and it's not secret. It's not his private life or her private life. It's common sense. He comes from this country. They have these traditions, these religions. If it's a Muslim, don't offer pork or alcohol without asking permission. For example, if it's a Jew, you cannot offer also a lot of food. You shouldn't do things on special days, timing. Hindu people don't eat meat. I mean, it's a lot of tradition that we have to respect. It's not one ethic. I mean, not one detail. It's a lot of things, and it brings you to a very nice and kind encounter. And the results are totally different when we care about people. It's all about kindness and caring.
I just learned quite a bit from you right there. That was very interesting. So I think that's a big part of it. It's about being curious. And we talk about this, Phil, with the power of listening, being curious about learning other cultures, learning other ways that people do things instead of thinking that the way we do it is the only way.
Exactly so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just love the way you put that. And this is exactly, we can be arrogant and we can be ignorant if we so choose. But let me tell you right now, we are all people. And if we don't understand people, we don't understand ourselves, and we don't build relationships, and we don't connect with people on the right level. And that is where we miss out on so many opportunities. You know, just by you showing up and showing that incredible respect is possibly one of the most wonderful things you can do for someone, because you're showing that you care. You're showing that you have gone out of your way to understand how other people live their lives. And as you said, Heba, it's not about digging deep into their personal lives at all. Not
No.
on the contrary. You are absolutely showing respect and care and love for their culture and their background. Let me tell you, that for our organization is fundamental. And let me tell you, give me the Arab world any day of the week. Give me the Arab world any day of the week. I've got such an incredible rapport with the Arabic community. I love the culture. I love the background. I love the history. And the people are just so incredible. I'm generalizing, but because in every culture you're going to get people you don't want to rub shoulders with for obvious reasons. But at the end of the day, it's so fundamental. And if we don't wake up as human beings and understand how the world has changed and how the world is going to continue changing, we're going to be left far behind.
And if we don't know, we can ask. I mean, being arrogant, as you said, is something, and being ignorant is something. If you don't know, ask. Tell them, I don't know about your tradition. What is your tradition? They will be very happy to indulge and talk and tell you. But if you are just saying, oh, if it's not the British way, then this is not a way, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Simply. Because every country, every tradition, every person counts. So you need to understand why they're different. That's all, and accept it. You don't have to be like them, but accept being next to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The question I have, so let's say you are at a business dinner and you are with people from different cultures. Should you say, I just want everyone to know that in my way of living in my country, we eat with the spoon. So I'll be using a spoon. Should you make that kind of announcement? Or we don't drink in my country, or we don't eat meat?
There is always a way to tell the host beforehand how it works. For example, here in a banquet, in an official banquet, we follow the European way. It's a knife and fork, and there is no spoon, but the menu is different. So there is no traditional food. It's a normal, say, filet, sauce champignon, whatever, the salad, the normal standard banquet style that you will find everywhere. And this is also the good thing about etiquette, that there is like a worldwide frame that is the easiest way to follow. No spoons, no chopsticks, nothing but the standard. But if you go to a country and they have next to the knife a spoon, and it's not a soup spoon, and they will offer you their traditional food, they will tell you, this is our traditional food. It is eaten like this, and you are welcome to try. It's like going to Japan and China and you have chopsticks, not knife and fork, and if you cannot use that, you just ask for cutlery, a normal one. So there is always a way. There is always a secretary, a person who will take also. Now with all the allergies that everybody have, the intolerances in food and all that, no one offers food without asking the common simple thing, are you allergic, are you intolerant? And then if you don't drink alcohol, if you don't eat pork or meat or whatever, you just include, yes, this businessman is a vegetarian, this person is dairy intolerant, and then you will have the information and you try to just adapt accordingly.
Thank you for sharing that. I have a follow-up. We're getting into this dining etiquette, but I think it's important. I've heard and know of people who are bringing their own cutlery. They're bringing their own metal straw, or they're bringing their own glass. Some people are bringing their own water with them when they're going out to a restaurant. Is this proper etiquette?
Philip, go ahead.
With all due respect, I'm not overly au fait with this at all, to be quite frank with you, but I'm sure you've absolutely got that from a reliable source, and maybe you've even seen it. Personally, I don't think it's proper etiquette, no. I think that's showing mistrust. If you're going to a restaurant, they will hopefully be a very well-organized, well-run establishment that keeps their hygiene standards up to the highest of standards. and it's almost an insult in a roundabout way. I don't think it's appropriate. So that's my answer to that. I don't know if you've got anything you would like to add on that.
I should
totally
add,
agree.
sorry, I should let you both know that in this case, or the cases that I know of, it's because of sustainability. They don't want, they feel like if they bring their own and then it's not another washing, I don't know. And for bringing their own water in their own bottle so that it's not in a plastic bottle. Heba, what do you think?
They came by car. It's taking it a little bit too far for me. I mean, it's also disrespecting the restaurant, the people around you, because you are telling them I'm doing the best thing and you don't. So for me, it's a. I mean, okay, chapeau to people who can do that all their life, but you cannot force people, and you cannot just go and intimidate people by taking your bamboo bottle or whatever, saying that this is for the Mother Earth because you came by car.
I love that. It's like people who don't eat meat, but they're wearing leather.
Yeah, wearing leather, or yeah, and you know, I'm going to put a caveat there. I love what and I love your sense of humor. I'm all for if someone gets a coffee every day from their local coffee shop and they bring their own coffee mug. I think that's wonderful. Because yes, lots of coffee mugs, and not only that, the amount of litter, especially here in the UK, we have just been inundated with litter, and I don't. I'm still mentally and emotionally getting to grips with this. I know I've mentioned this on the show before, but when I walk Coco, I just actually sometimes come back feeling devastated, and maybe I'm taking life too seriously. But litter is just, there's no rhyme or reason why people should throw plastic or paper or anything onto the floor. It should be put in a dustbin or taken home with you. But going back to Heba's wonderful sense of humor, you came by some form of transport, which is most probably going to cause pollution. And yeah, it's an insult to your host, hostess, the restaurant, or wherever you're going. So I think we're all on the same page here.
I recycle my things. I am very ecological, but I don't impose it. I take my cup to Starbucks. I don't have a problem to that, but I am not imposing in a venue or in
Absolutely not.
a dinner party. Please use that, or look, I'm using that. I'm not using this. It's not kind. For me, it's not.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
You're both very passionate about it, so thank you for sharing. We're actually at the top of the hour for our show, which went by so fast. So I'm going to spotlight each of you and whatever you would like to share with our audience as we come to the close of the show, the close of another week. What would you like to share, Heba, and how can people get in touch with you?
Well, I am on Instagram, and I'm happy to try to help anyone. Just be kind and respect others is very important. So that would be my closing line every time I talk to people. Just be kind and accept that people are different.
I love that. And just for those people out there who are on the radio, if we can just read out, it's Heba SHARMY, and she's the founder and CEO of Improve Me. So that's www.improveme.net, and Instagram handle is @improveme by Heba, Heba. So it's, you know, Heba, it's just such a joy to see you, and I just your sense of humor, your knowledge is just unbelievable. And please book in again and come and join us on the show. We've got a children's show which we're launching. You can be a guest on there, and I know Dr. JACALYN would love you to come on in various other capacities at some point as well.
Sure, anytime. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, Dr.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Amazing woman. Just phenomenal. Eh? Amazing. Yeah.
Well, thanks for having her on the platform again. I appreciate it. Philip, what would you like to share? Obviously, we have another show coming up. Maybe you want to tell people about that?
Yes. So we are launching our Children Learn What They Live, which is just something we're passionate about, and encouraging people to really understand how fundamental that really is. Monkey see, monkey do in life. And we need, as I said earlier in today's show, we need to be improving ourselves so we can help people work toward a better future. We really and truly do. We need to be that shepherd, that shining light. So in Children Learn What They Live, we're going to be inviting people throughout the year as guests to come and join the show. So if any of you out there would like to take part in any of the shows, just go to USA Global TV, register, and then go onto the registration platform and register for the show that you would like to attend. It would be such a joy.
Thank you, Philip. And I'm also super excited that you're going to be starting as one of our expert presenters on Talking Heads so that people can get even more education, inspiration, and hope from you.
Absolutely. I'm really excited about that. Really, really excited. I've got some wonderful content, which I'd love to be able to share with the world if you can just give up half an hour of your time. And this is something that's really key. Get off your devices, get off your social media, get off your gaming systems, and put an hour aside each day just to do a mind feed of some sort. Listen to a TED Talk, listen to USA Global TV, listen to something that's going to feed you.
Philip, how can people reach you? We have your contact information here, but if people are on the radio or podcast platform.
Certainly. So it's www.thebritishschoolofexcellence.com or hello@thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. And I'm always very comfortable with WhatsApp. Actually, we've just launched a business WhatsApp, so I'll send you a new number for the next show, Dr. JACALYN. But right now, +44 780 885 9914 is my WhatsApp. So I'm always open to a conversation.
All right. Thank you so much, Philip. I will see you in the other studio in just a few minutes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone, whether you're watching or listening on the live or the replay. I just have a few quick announcements that I want to share. So our next show coming up, Philip referred to it. It's Children Live What They Learn, the power of etiquette and manners for children. And we will be joined by one of our team members, Mr. Roland Friedel. We'll be talking about nutrition for children. And the other announcement that I wanted to make is March 26th. I'm turning 60. I can't believe it. So I'm throwing my own birthday party as well as a book launch party. We are launching our third book in the amazing adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor. You can see the book cover there. And as of this morning, it was still an Amazon #1 new release. It's been out for pre-order since December. So we're going to be joining together March the 26th from 3:30 on. That's Eastern Standard Time. And I don't know if it's British summertime or not by the 26th, but that would be 3:30, 8:30 Greenwich Mean Time / British Summer Time. So please do join us. You can go ahead and register, and I'll be sharing that link. The other thing I want to mention is we have another new show called It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. And this is a show I'm also doing with Mr. Roland Friedel. And we are talking about a lifestyle that can help you age gracefully. So instead of being afraid of aging, we can actually do things today so that we are going to have a better quality of life. Thank you so much for marking your calendars down. This show is on Wednesdays. And then finally, we have another new show, Dementia Home Care, Balancing Care with Peace of Mind. And this is with Tracy Cram-Perkins. Tracy's been a regular guest here, and she's written this book that has sold thousands and thousands and thousands of copies. I have a copy. My sister has a copy. It's called Dementia Home Care. It really is the Bible of home care for someone who is a caretaker of someone with dementia. Tracy is actually a 4-time survivor of caregiving with family members who have had dementia. So please go and purchase her book. All right. Thank you again. We'll be right back shortly, coming from another studio. You stay where you are. We'll go to the other studio. We'll see you soon. Bye.